Hey, today I want to talk about 3 prosperity principles that will help you make more money and collect more wealth as a writer. Let's get right into it. For some reason, writers tend to have a poverty-based mindset. It's like they expect to be starving artists, and they have a dream of being successful, but it's hidden deep inside their heart, and it's usually hidden behind some cynicism and no expectation, no hope of succeeding. I want to give you 3 prosperity principles today that will help you prosper as a writer. Now, if you resonate with this kind of message, you want to subscribe to this YouTube channel and then tap the bell icon when you do it. That way you'll get notified when I put out a new video, which is pretty frequently. Also, if you have a comment or question or you disagree with me even, you can leave the comments below. Just play nice, be civil. Let's get right into it. Prosperity principle number 1, you must discover yourself. Now, this is a big one because so many writers have this dream. It's really a fantasy. And the fantasy goes like this: I will struggle for years and I'll write my masterpiece. I'll write my Gone with the Wind or my Atlas Shrugged or my To Kill a Mockingbird. And somebody will discover me. They'll read my manuscript, they'll discover me, they'll publish my book, and I'll become rich and famous and acknowledged as a genius. That's a great dream. There's only one problem with it. It never happens that way. Never. Well, almost never. Maybe sometimes it does happen that way, but it's very unlikely. I mean, it's more likely that you'll win the Powerball on the same day you get struck by lightning than it is for you to get discovered in the way I just described. It doesn't really happen that way. You've got to discover yourself. You have to identify what is it that's special about you, that you and only you bring to the table as a writer. What's your special sauce? What's your core message? What's your core thesis is what we call it in our 3-day Dreamstorm workshop. We don't have time to go through that whole process here, but if you don't already know what your special sauce is, what your unique selling proposition is, what your unique quality or unique wisdom that you bring to the world is, you need to spend some time on this and figure it out. Because until you figure it out, you're just going to be part of the mass of mediocrity, the sea of sameness. So that's prosperity principle number 1. You must discover yourself. Don't wait for somebody else to discover you. Prosperity principle number 2, you must promote yourself. I know this makes you a little squeamish, doesn't it? It does most people. But hear me on this. To succeed, you must realize and understand and come to believe in your core that you are not in the writing business. You are in the You Incorporated business. To bring it home, I'm not in the writing business. I'm in the Ray Edwards business. Ray Edwards is the product that I sell. It's your unique personality that makes you different, that makes you stand out, that makes you special, that will attract your tribe of people who are going to listen to only your voice. There's a group of people in this world who will only respond to your voice, your writing voice, on whatever topic it is you write on, whether you're a fiction writer, nonfiction, it doesn't matter. There's a group of people just for you, waiting to hear you. And if you never speak up, if you never promote yourself and stand up and hold up a flag and say, "Here I am, tribe, come to me," they're never going to find you. So you've got to promote yourself. You've got to be in the business of You Incorporated. You can't rely on word of mouth. You can't rely on great reviews. You can't rely on impersonal ad campaigns. You have got to shamelessly and boldly promote you. It takes thought, it takes strategy, and it takes a certain amount of brashness, a certain amount of being willing to stand up and say, "Notice me." And if we're honest about it, we're all saying that anyway. We just wish somebody else would do the work for us. Well, to heck with that. Own the fact that you need to promote yourself, and don't be bashful about it. You're important. You have a message. It's worth people hearing. So make sure you let them know about it. So that's prosperity principle number 2. You must promote yourself. Prosperity principle number 3. You must get over yourself. Look, you're going to have to probably go through the uncomfortable exercise of redefining what you think of as craft. I've already broken the news to you that you are not in the writing business. You're in the business of You Incorporated. For some of you, that's still left you in shock. You're just like, what? No, but it's real. You can differ with me in your opinion, but I'm right about this. A lot of writers dream of being a purely creative being who never has to sully their hands with the world of crass commercialism or manipulative marketing. Get over yourself. Somebody's got to market you, and nobody's going to care more about marketing you than you. So there's a few points to make here. Point number one, you may need to change the way you think of what is your craft. I do a very specific kind of writing. I write direct response sales copy, words that are intended to sell things. You might think of me as a typing salesman. Now, while you may not choose to write sales copy, which is arguably the most lucrative kind of writing you can do, you may have to spend a little less time writing poems about the secret love life of elves, and more time writing about something people will pay for. Too much? Point number two. My approach to writing as a business is not an instant income strategy. The whole art and craft of writing as a business is something that has taken me years to figure out, to the point that I have it figured out now, and I'm still learning something every day. The good news is, because on this YouTube channel and on my blog and in my products and my books, I'm sharing what I've learned, you can go faster than I did. You can avoid the speed traps, if you will. I'm showing you a way to go faster. I believe it's easier today. I believe you can go faster and further than you could when I started. So I think the news is good for you. The market is nowhere near saturated. The game is not up. You have arrived at just the perfect time to take advantage of what's available to you. Number three, there's more than one way to become a $1 million writer, or maybe you don't want to be a $1 million writer. Maybe you want to be a six-figure writer. I would encourage you to raise your standards, but we can start with six figures. Anyway, there's more than one way to do it. For instance, I know a writer who writes 2 to 3 books a year and gets paid $300,000 to $400,000 per manuscript, and you've never heard this guy's name. Why? Because he's a ghost writer. And he writes books for people whose names you would recognize, and their reputations might crumble if people knew that this other person actually wrote their famous best-selling book. But he doesn't care. He's laughing all the way to the bank. Another writer I know brought in over $1 million last year writing corporate reports, white papers, annual reports, that kind of stuff for big companies like Microsoft. Not my cup of tea, but this writer does excellent in that business, and it's well-deserved income. There's as many ways to do this as there are people who want to write. Look, it's the very rare writer, like Stephen King, for instance, who can just write a book and cash a big check. Very rare. Lightning, Powerball. Forget about it. Point number four. In my experience, to make a big income, 6 or 7 figures as a writer, you're going to be selling more than just writing. You may be selling online courses about writing like Jeff Goins does. You may be doing speeches. You may be teaching classes. There's a myriad of different things you probably are going to do to help create that income, but it all hovers around and orbits around the central hub of your writing. That's a good thing. It diversifies your sources of income. And point number 5 about becoming a prosperous writer is that it requires me to use a 4-letter word. I don't normally use 4-letter words on this vlog, but I'm going to make an exception today. The word W-O-R-K. Work. Yes, you're going to have to work. It takes work. It takes time, it takes effort, it takes blood, sweat, and tears. It takes work. That may be disappointing, but that's how it goes. The good news is, hard work in this area pays off, just like it does in other areas. You get rewarded. And if you do it right, you get rewarded with big stacks of cash. I wrote a post on my blog that goes into a lot more detail about this stuff. It's called How I Work as a $1 Million Writer, and how you can too. And I'll link to it in the description below this video if you want to read more about that. The thing is, this is kind of a glimpse behind the curtain, and you may or may not like what you see. But this is how it works for me and for many other writers that I know who make really good incomes. And I believe that if you're a writer and you have any talent whatsoever, if you're a decent writer and you have a good work ethic and you're willing to learn, you too can make a very, very good income writing, if you're willing to do what it takes. Once again, the 3 principles. Prosperity principle for writers, number 1, you must discover yourself. Prosperity principle number 2, you must promote yourself. And prosperity principle number 3, you must get over yourself. What do you think? Comments? Put them below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, give it a share. And if you want to get more videos like this, then just subscribe to this channel and tap that bell icon. You'll get a notification the next time I issue a new video. Until then, may you be in good health and prosper in all things.